Okay, hello everybody. I'm playing my ranger, and he's low level. I'm at the West Corona, one of the bandit camps. There's a bunch of them, as I found out. But I'm at a bandit camp in West Corona, and my ranger is definitely I don't want to say it's an experimental project, but it's like a class that I've wanted to play, but only in a certain way. Like a lot of people start a ranger or any class, and they just fit it to whatever mold is basically made for the class. A ranger is generally they fill a DPS role and they join a group and they do their stuff. They snare and DPS, and that's pretty much it. But I always like I'm at a point in playing EverQuest that I just want to try different stuff and see how well it works and not and generally avoid full groups as much as I can. Like right here, my companion or my helper, my friend is a cleric. He's about the same level. We're in our low teens, so it's a different game in the low teens. But clerics are actually, if you're like me and you're looking for like a two man group, just a duo type situation, clerics are actually really good. And yeah, I've been having a problem right here. It seems like when I forage or access 2D items in my inventory, um, the game hangs up for a little bit. The system does, not the game, but my computer does. I don't know what it is. I've got a plenty powerful computer. Not like you need a good computer for EverQuest, but for some reason it doesn't. I don't know why it is, but um, I haven't downloaded the multi-core patch, and I don't know if that'll fix it. But if anybody has a solution, please definitely let me know. But it doesn't happen that often. But anyway, back to clerics. Clerics are most people. If you're going to do a duo type situation, people assume the cleric is really best for a melee class. But actually, for fear kiting, you've got apart from fear, you've got root as well. You've got some crowd control. Um, obviously the heals are great, especially if you're a necromancer. A cleric is like, I mean, you can't die unless you're in a really high level dungeon, I guess. And well, obviously it's a strong possibility there, but yeah, clerics are a great companion for a lot of different classes, not just a pure melee who's going to take a lot of damage. Um, that's definitely an idea if you're looking for like kind of a duo situation. But anyway, so I'm in the Kenos area, and a lot of people don't like the Kenos area for a few reasons. I think most of them is just that you're so remote. You're cut off from East Common Lands, which is a huge area, when you're building a character, and for a lot of reasons, though, but for the teleporting and whatnot. But Kenos has tons of EXP quests, and the one I'm doing right now is the Bandit Sash quest. And when you get bandits off these, bandit sashes off of the bandits, sorry, you can go to Chestguard Swiden in the Kenos Paladin Guild. Turn them in one at a time. He gives you EXP and a bronze weapon. And then you can turn right back around and sell the bronze weapon. And the EXP is okay, not incredible, but it's worth it to do. And to hold on to those bandit sashes and turn them into him. And platinum, when you sell a bronze weapon for platinum, I mean, platinum is almost as good as EXP in this game. Everybody's always looking for platinum. So yeah, it's definitely you know, look at Kenos, look at the quests available. You'll be surprised. There's one quest for EXP I found just by luck, and I never knew about it ever. And I don't want to give it away, so I would just say kind of look around and see if you can find it. But I would say it's actually better than the Nullfang quest. But anyway, I'm just playing a little bit here uh, as just like I said, I've played EverQuest so much. I'm at a point where I don't want to just do you know the I don't want to conform. I want to try different stuff, and I want to EXP efficiently. I don't want to join a group of 6 where you have to like pull 5 mobs to get 1% of EXP, or then you sit there and one guy goes AFK for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is, or there's one person that's not even halfway playing their class like they should. That kind of stuff I just don't have any patience for anymore. That's just, the wonder is gone. Now I'm just trying to kind of push the envelope a little bit. But so yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of the grouping in EverQuest. Sometimes it's just I don't get it doing the full group bit. But anyway, so that's it. Just a little tip for anybody that's in the Kenos area trying to level up. And now we're going to transition to about not 10 levels later. I'm level 21, 22 here, and so now I'm in the great zone of Lake of Ill Omen. Ill Omen has its issues. It's not perfect. It's a pain in the butt to get to. You really want to bind Inferior Vi or Ill Omen. It just recently occurred to me that yeah, you can bind an Ill Omen if you want to, but I never do just because for whatever reason. But so Ill Omen is as long as there aren't any prick bards in the zone. There's two kinds of bards. There's bards and there's pricks. Prick bards. The prick bards are the ones that um, swarm kite. And I'm sorry, but when there's 20 plus players in the zone, you don't swarm kite. Swarm kite. It's it's just not. I don't care if you can get tons of EXP. I don't care if it's just awesome. If it's I don't care. I'm not envious of the bard's ability to get a bunch of EXP quick. The problem is you tie up mobs for a long time, and that's wrong. It's a lot of zones. The bards cherry pick mobs. They leave the casters alone, and over there they leave the fast running mobs alone. So you're stuck with the worst mobs to try and fight, and it takes you bards forever to finish your pulls, and it just sucks. It really goes against the game, and I don't want to get negative. I, Here's what I've got going on here. Now I've got an enchanter partner, and enchanters. So as I kind of originally envisioned playing this uh, ranger is to look for a necro and do a pair up and have a necro as a partner, and just because I have snare and I have track, I can pull from long range, and that's any melee class can craft a bow and pull just as well as I can. It's not a ranger exclusive ability, but it fits the class so much. It's just natural that you want to work up your fletching and custom build custom arrows for long range or close range, or just cheap arrows for building up your archery skill. But this enchanter, it it had been a possibility in my mind as a possibly good combination. And obviously, everybody knows the Enchanter brings so much to the table that we all love to have in our group. But this guy in particular, man, he's doing a great job, and he understood and adapted really quick to what I was trying to do. I want a fear kite. I've got snare. I can pull. He can just sit in med, and whatever he does apart from cast fear is just icing on the cake. If he buffs me, if he keeps haste up, great. If he keeps breeze up, great. And I'm not too pushy about asking for buffs, but there's a point where once you get to higher level, you want to do whatever you possibly can to make your group get EXP faster. So, if I'm in a hell level later on or something, or I'm getting into the 40s, then yeah, I'm definitely going to be on that enchanter. Get me haste. I've got to have it. So, but this guy actually, he's only using fear, which is the first fear spell enchanters have access to. But there's another one called Chase the Moon, and I want to say it's level 16. I'm pretty positive it's level 16 actually. But if you're an enchanter and you get so many spells, and there's weird spells like whirl to you till you hurl. I don't know what. It's basically like a fear spell, but not as good. But sometimes you look at all these weird spells and you're like, what does all this do? But Chase the Moon, get it. It's an improved fear spell. It doesn't have the long cooldown, the long grayed out key like when you cast fear. So if Chase the Moon gets resisted, or if for whatever reason you have to cast it twice in a row, it doesn't gray out. So, and it has a good duration. It's mana efficient. It's a really good spell, and especially for what I'm doing here, um, it would have been great if this guy had it. So, enchanters, definitely don't ignore your fear spells. Chase the Moon, look it up, make sure you have it. So at this stage of the game, like I said, I'm not too pushy about having haste up and breeze up all the time, or clarity, but I would expect a higher level enchanter to be really more on top of that type of stuff. But besides just the basic fear kiting we're doing, like in this, we're not trying to get a summon pet involved too much, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. But at higher level, once you get as a ranger, once you get Spirit of Wolf, now you got Spirit of Wolf and Snare. It's There's no reason for the enchanter. Well, let me just say, it's up to the enchanter's temperament whether they want to charm or not. Because charm can be a pain, and it can take a while to find the right mob as far as one that doesn't constantly break charm. So, and once you charm a mob, as an enchanter, you have to keep looking after it. You have to keep your distance. You have to control it and keep controlling it. And so I understand, but I would say at higher levels, it would make more than enough sense to make sure, your enchanter is charming, or he's okay, or he or she's okay charming. You got to charm. It's just such a powerful spell. And just take the time, even if it means charming a green mob, it's okay. A green mob is going to do comparable damage to a player, even tweaked as I am. And speaking of twinking, my main hand is Silken Whip of Ensnaring. My offhand is a Valium Short Blade. Neither of those are very expensive weapons. I like the Silken Whip of Ensnaring. If and when it starts to proc, whether that matters to me, I don't like. Snare is the kind of spell you don't want to rely on a random proc to use it. So that's not such a big deal. It's just it has a good damage delay ratio, and it's a unique weapon. People don't use whips very much in the game, so I just like to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to stick with that weapon. Um, I've got the for haste. I don't have the FBSS. I have the gloves. I can't remember the name of them right now, but they're the ones that drop in Velcators, I believe. They're silver chitin hand wraps or something like that. And I seriously looked at getting the Valium Swiftblade just because offhand damage is pretty unimportant in a lot of ways, but it's really only a good weapon for um, the classes who can wield it. And let's just say I have a monk that I like and want to play, but it would be useless to the monk. So I wanted to have a haste item that was transferable to other characters. It wouldn't make me feel like my offhand damage was being gimped, but the Valium Swiftblade, it's definitely kind of lingering in my head because 36% haste is really good, and obviously that item haste stacks with spell haste. So if you have an enchanter or any hasting class in your group and you have a Valium Swiftblade in your offhand, you're going to be very well hasted. But so anyway, as a ranger, when you get around 22, Panic Animal is the obvious ranger animal fear kiting spell, but Harmony is not a spell you want to forget about because it opens up outdoor camps to you, outdoor zones where there's multiple mobs stacked close together. Where if you pull one, you pull them all type of situation. Harmony is huge. Harmony will On live, it was unresistible. It was crazy. You could cast it on any level mob and it would work. You could walk right by it or you could pull right next to it and it would work. But I have a feeling that's been changed. But overall, on Project 99, but overall, yeah, it's definitely a good spell. Definitely keep it in mind and don't let some camps keep you from using it because there's a lot of actually good outdoor spawns, and over there, Frontier Mountains and other places where you can use Harmony to single pull, and that's just huge in this game. So yeah, I just wanted to go over just my general vision for playing this character and what I want to do, and encourage anybody else to try different stuff and share any good combos you've come across. But so that's it, and thanks for watching.